The purpose of this video is to look at some of the reproductive metrics generated within HeiferTracker, one of the new tracker series within PCDART. To access it, simply hit the Analysis menu and then HeiferTracker. And another video handled how the inventory counts work. This video will specifically look at some of the reproductive metrics. And so I'm going to grab these metrics here from age at first breeding down through percent open, 5 cycles past the voluntary wait period, and grab those and move those over to the print list. Set the date range. I'll do a relative date range for the last 12 months relative to test day, and I'll leave my voluntary wait period set at 400 days. And hit preview. And now it generates a list of metrics particular to each month. So again, since we chose the monthly table option, this is going to show month by month. And the very first number is age at first breeding for heifers that are bred this month. So in January 09, the animals that were bred for the first time averaged 432 days of age. To click on that to get a list of those heifers, just like with all tracker items, just simply click on that cell and it'll generate a list of the animals that went into generating that number. Age at first breeding for the last 300 days contains quite a few more animals because it's more of a rolling number, a number with some more momentum that would include all animals for the last 300 days. Again, all these cells that we click on generate lists of animals. They can be dumped conveniently to Excel by hitting the Excel button, or hitting the cow page icon will move right to the cow page. And the similar set of data is presented for each animal: first freshening date, first preg date, and so forth. The event date relative to a pregnancy or a breeding. Okay, so the very next row is the percent of animals that are AI bred by 1 cycle past the voluntary wait period. So the voluntary wait period for this herd has been defined as 400 days that I entered in. So this would say for the animals that were bred in the month of January of 09, those that were eligible, 25% of them actually got bred by 421 days of age. And then the row below that is the same calculation, but for the last 300 days. So by all these metrics, looking at the current month versus the last 300 days, the current month gives us a very timely number with very little momentum. But for small herds, it may have too much variation because not many animals go into the number. And the cell for the last 300 days is a number with some more momentum, but maybe more appropriate for some smaller herds. The next row is percent pregnant by 1 cycle past the voluntary wait period. So this would be the percent of heifers that actually got pregnant by 400 days, or by 421 days. Okay, so in January of 09, 25% of the eligible heifers got pregnant by 421 days of age. And again, the same number for the last 300 days. The next number is percent pregnant by 3 cycles past the voluntary wait period. So 3 cycles would be 63 days. So that would be 463 days in this case. So for January of 09, the heifers that reached that point during that month, 100% of them were pregnant by three cycles. And again, all these numbers you can look at month by month for the date range represented. And then the very last metric is the percent that are open after 5 cycles. So 5 cycles is 105 days, or 5 times 21 days. So for this dairy with a 400-day voluntary wait period, that's 505 days. So again, you can see the percentage of animals that were open after 505 days. So for example, in July of 09, there were 2%. We can click on the list, and there they are. There happens to be the 2 animals that were still open after 5 cycles. And as you can see here, those animals never did get pregnant. They're still open, and so that is a potential problem.